Hello and welcome. This is exclusive interview and I am Tunde Hassan. Across countries and continents, Africa, Asia, the Americas, Europe, all bear one form of fashion identity or the other. From the stroke of Lufeu of Poland, the Scottish kilt, the huaraches, the American wooden shoe, Kante Adire Kupta of the Maghreb region of Africa, to suits, frocks, gele, among others, fashion expresses the culture and gives identity to individuals and communities. Fashion has proven to be an intimate relationship with nature, personal expression, social expectations, emotional indicator, and interaction with the environment, just as it is an identity which expresses freedom, stand individuals apart, or blend them in addition to defining the character and influences that determine the identity of a people, the mindset, values which, while creating avenues for engagements and communication. Fashion is indeed broad. And my guest on exclusive interview is Fatih Yunus Ibrahim, an advocate of inclusion of fashion in the mainstream development agenda, a specialist in industrial design, goodwill ambassador of the National Council on Women's Society (NCWS), member and indeed deputy treasurer Arewa Consultative Forum, and founder of Africa Fashion Hall of Fame, will join me in a moment to engage fashion, its true essence, and place the bigger picture on the national development agenda. First, this background report.
Fashion is a term that expresses a popular style or practice, especially in clothing, footwear, accessories, makeup, body adornment and ornament, as well as furniture, amongst others. It is phenomenal in everyday life and a constantly changing trend, promoted by celebrities and publicly visible individuals. It expresses the cultural, economic, financial, social, sentimental, and class profiles of individuals and groups in society. The 20th century is considered to have carved a defining path or tone of fashion history. In today's globally connected world, fashion is a statement, a signature, an avenue for income generation, job creation, and in recent times, an inspiration in several ways. Today, fashion has become an important part of our lives, with the fashion industry witnessing huge innovations as new technologies and changing customer trends transform the industry. Globalization has further propelled the fashion industry through production, distribution, and marketing channels. In terms of its economic impact, the fashion is a multi-billion-dollar industry creating jobs and generating income. The global fashion industry is estimated to be worth $1.3 trillion and $2 trillion by 2020. It is responsible for the recent growth, on average 4.78%, and future growth 5.91% in the next 3 years of the apparel industry. The market is predictable to grow at a healthy pace in the coming years. Within Africa, the entire textile clothing market is worth more than $31 billion and accounts for the second largest number of jobs in developing countries after agriculture. The artisan craft sector is the second largest employer in the developing world. In the next 5 years, Africa's textile industry could generate $15.5 billion revenue. In a report, the African Development Bank says fashion currently accounts for 1.9% of the global trade. A report from Global Fashion Agenda, however, says it is important to address the environmental and social problems created by the fashion industry. This, if done, would create $192 billion in profit, benefiting the global economy by 2030.
You're welcome back. Exclusive interview. And I have with me in the studio Miss Fatty Yunus Ibrahim, founder, Africa Fashion Hall of Fame. She's always been at the forefront of pushing fashion in terms of the National Development Agenda. You're most welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Let's take this conversation from a natural cause. How will you assess the extent to which fashion is being included in terms of the mainstream National Development Agenda? Are we getting it right as a sector?
Thank you very much for having me. The answer is no, unfortunately, because the fashion industry or the garment industry have come a long way, and unfortunately it's not been carried along, whereby it has contributed immensely. It's one of the higher employer of labor. It creates wealth, but unfortunately, it's not been carried along in terms of, for example, the garment industry has contributed to the GDP of any nation, inclusive of Nigeria, of course. And some of us have been in this business for over 3 decades, and not much. It's been hard. There are so many challenges in this sector. And you find out that there are other sectors, the creative sector especially, which of course the fashion falls under the creative industry. And I will give you so many reasons why the fashion designers are not happy about so many things. We have lost out in terms of there are so many opportunities there, but no goodwill, no political will, no carrying us along, as I have said, whereby you see in the creative industry, the movie industry, dance troupe, they are carried along more than even the fashion industry. And I always ask a question: can anybody walk on the street without wearing an outfit? It's like eating food. You can't do without eating food. It's the same thing you can never do without a cloth on you.
Why is it that the fashion industry, despite its preeminence, I mean, like you said, nobody walks around naked. Why has it been difficult to get inclusion for the fashion industry in terms of the policy environment, in terms of the political goodwill to drive it to the level it should be?
Is there any policies on ground concerning the fashion industry? Some of us have made a case for several times. Any opportunity, some of us have made a case that no inclusion, no mainstreaming in the garment industry. Because, like I said from the beginning, there's no goodwill, there's no political will. The policies that were supposed to be there have failed. We have not even seen any strong policy concerning the fashion industry. What about the private partnership that we have tried to bring our case before on the table, to have a conversation concerning the garment industry? Since the time of the textile industries, you agree with me that the textile industries have collapsed in Nigeria.
Yeah, that's quite an unfortunate thing.
Very unfortunate.
The textile industry is really down the doldrum. I remember there was a time some money was kind of set aside to push it up about 2 or so billion. What has happened to that?
Let me take you back memory lane during Obasanjo era. During Obasanjo, there was an intervention of 70 billion. From there, it was increased to about 90 billion for the textile and garment.
So it's even more than the 2 billion I'm talking
No,
about.
no, no.
90
It's
billion.
yes, during Obasanjo's era, it was 70 billion. From 70 to 90 billion, it was increased. I remember Nexim Bank was handling it. I remember when I was the pioneer president of the Fashion Designers Association of Nigeria, Abuja chapter. I went to meet with the chief executive of Nexim Bank then, because I wanted to know how fashion designers can be part of that intervention. But unfortunately, most of the money was given to, the money was disbursed to commercial banks then. It was disbursed more to the textiles and also the tailors. Here I want to make a difference between a fashion designer and a tailor. Most times people think when they settle tailors, they have settled fashion designer. No, that is not it. A fashion designer is different from a tailor. And nothing was done then. Most fashion designers never access that intervention at the end of the day. And we did made a case, but nothing came out of it. Well, some people from the garment sector, did get part of it. But then we expected, because we are the end users of the textile fabrics. It's a fashion designer that showcases the textile fabric that will bring market to it. Unfortunately, no. So you see, you can see that, well, we have not been carried along. We have requested, we have brought forth that there should be a fashion council.
Okay.
We have been advocating on that.
A fashion council.
A fashion council
country.
that will regulate so many things.
What is making it difficult to create such a body?
Yeah, well, that's lack of the political will. That is lack of the political will. We've been on it for a long time. And even common directory, a fashion directory. Because there are so many quacks, fashion designers, that will parade themselves. They're doing it as a business. You that is talented and gifted in this sector, you are not making it. Those that are making it just for business, they buy catalogs and just copy what is there in the catalog. You that is gifted and talented, there's no encouragement. Well, at this point, let me say that fashion designing is beyond the glamorous part.
Okay.
It's also, it's beyond the glamorous part. We look at the entrepreneur part of it. We look at the entrepreneur part of it. We look at the commerce part of it, the investment part of it. It's not only the runway. It's not only going to do some shows and that is it. No. Runway is good because you showcase your label.
Yes.
You showcase your outfit so that people can admire it, because sometimes when you hang it on the rack, people might not admire it until you wear it. Because so many of us, we designers, when we go out there, people even follow us to admire what we're wearing. All over the world, when we travel to showcase Nigeria, they follow us even to our hotel.
I like this that you're wearing.
Thank you very much. All this, we promote Nigeria. You can see this is Nigerian textile.
That's it.
That I'm wearing. I'm showcasing Nigeria. Because we have to promote. I'm an advocate of Wear Nigeria.
Yeah, I know you've been at the forefront of pushing Wear Nigeria.
Yes, because we have to promote our country. Because when we promote it, our GDP goes high and everybody will smile at the end of the day.
Look at this. We are aware that the fashion industry contributes to the GDP, contributes to employment, contributes to this, contributes to that. Beyond that, within the global arena, there's an increasing attraction towards Nigerian fashion. If that is the case, what is making it so difficult to integrate the fashion industry properly into mainstream economy of Nigeria?
You know the reason?
There's a lot of plus.
Yes.
So many pluses.
That's why I'm telling you there's no political goodwill. Number one, you can agree with me that the imported outfits have flooded our markets today. The Western clothing, the bend down. The bend down, you know what I mean when we say bend down? That is the used clothes from Europe, from Asia, from Americas, from all over the world. Because our borders are so porous. There's policies there, there's legislations that these are contraband. But at the end of the day,
Yes, find the
you find them.
in the
How do
market.
they get into the market? That is what takes me to corruption.
Okay.
You know, we are battling with corruption in Nigeria. Most of our borders, like I said, are porous. And when they come in with these goods, of course they bribe them and find their way to our markets.
Quite sad.
And no enforcement. That's the problem we have in Nigeria. We have laws, we have policies, but no enforcement. And yet, we want to create more laws. We're advocating for more laws. What did we do with the ones that we have? You see, so we are deceiving ourselves. We are double standard. And the government pays a lip service. Always. They are not sincere. Not only in garments, apparel, no. Other things that are contraband, you find them in our markets today. How did they get here? And it's not even hidden. People go there to patronize them, even people that make the laws. That's why some of us have said, well, if you have to enforce these laws, we have to promote made in Nigeria. For example, even in the National Assembly, there are days, or even every sitting, to wear your national wares. You are promoting your
And
identity.
they actually abound in this country.
Yes, you are promoting your identity, who you are. You should be proud of who you are. Let's not be slaves of the West.
Okay, we'll take a short break here and return with our conversation with Mrs. Fati Yunus Ibrahim. We'll return shortly on Exclusive Interview.
There's a wind of change blowing over Nigeria, and it's coming from the Tertiary Education Trust Fund. If you want to find out how TED Fund is bringing the Nigerian government, industry, and the academia together to drive a new knowledge economy, tune in to this station every Wednesday at 8 p.m. for TED Fund, the paradigm shift. It's informative, it's innovative, and it's exciting. TED Fund, the paradigm shift. Proudly produced by 84 TV Radio.
You're welcome back. Exclusive interview with Mrs. Fati Yunus Ibrahim, founder of the African Fashion Hall of Fame. Now, the African Fashion Hall of Fame, what is this all about?
Yeah, well, as you know, I was the pioneer past president of the Fashion Designers Association of Nigeria, Abuja chapter, for some time. So when I was going to relinquish my position, I started the African Fashion Hall of Fame. What do we do in the African Fashion Hall of Fame? The name speaks for it, but it's beyond that. We give entrepreneurship. As you know, skills is very key. We are in an era that without skills, with even your certificates, PhD, professorship, whatever you are, without a skill, you are in for trouble in Nigeria. So what we do for it there, we give skills. That's the entrepreneur training, which is global entrepreneurship. We give global learning. We do induction into the Hall of Fame. And what are the criteria we look for inducting people into the Hall of Fame, both men and women, even the young? We look at even the people living with disability, because they are fashion. We have to carry them along, because one of the objectives of the African Fashion Hall of Fame is to remove discrimination against people living with disability, to bring out their potentials, their beauty.
And give them inclusion.
Yes, put them in the mainstreaming of everything, especially in the fashion industry. Let there be an inclusive kind of. So that is what we do. We even have the ambassador runway. We're going to be having the presidential runway. Well, this is for Africa, not only Nigeria. And the president doesn't have to come on stage and do the runway. We can dress people that, look like the president and wear his outfit or her outfit. And what we are looking at, because I'm an advocate of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which we look at.
The SDG.
Yes, the SDG. We look at different areas that, we could advocate that is relevant to this industry. And we also do charity.
Okay.
We clothe the less privileged, the children on the street. We clothe them. We go to the orphanage. We donate clothes. We have been to so many IDP camps. We've donated clothing, materials to them, because every child, especially, or every human being, has the right to wear clothes, has the right to wear decent clothing. There is no reason. That's why I've been talking with some of the fashion designers. Don't throw away your pieces. We could do a lot with the pieces. We could sew clothing for them. You find out so many children on the street, especially during Harmattan season or rainy season. They are cold. No clothes to wear. And fashion designers are there. We cannot close our eyes to see this, our children, especially on the street, without decent clothing on them. Just like you give them food to eat. That is how they should wear decent clothing. We also knit cardigans for them to keep them warm. So, and it's an exclusive, and also it's a total package. It's a total package. And even then in the fashion part of it, we give trainings. What are the trainings that we give? Like I said, the total package. We even do photography, makeup artist, gele tying, bags, shoes.
Apparently, it's a very wide, broad initiative. That's the African Fashion Hall of Fame.
Yes, it is quite broad, but we take it segment by segment, because we cannot do everything at the same time. We look at the areas that is related to one another, and then we go on it. We have other instructors. We have not really, we've been working behind the scene for a very long time. And I think we're about launching it out.
Okay.
Probably end of this year to early next year.
Okay.
We have started work. We've been doing, like I said, at the backstage for a very long time. I remember it took me to South Africa because Winnie Mandela then was alive. She was one of those who were inducted. We are supposed to induct her into the Hall of Fame.
Posthumously.
No, I'm telling you, before she passed on.
Okay.
I visited her home in Soweto, and we presented the letter of induction, but unfortunately we didn't get to do it until she passed on. But we're still going to give her the posthumous induction alongside our Mariam Babangida.
Wow, okay.
That has been so elegantly dressed, has promoted the Nigerian fabrics, alongside Mariam Makeba, alongside Nkrumah, because he has been promoting the Akente, alongside Obasanjo. I remembered when he was the president, he has been promoting the Adire. We're also inducting our Minister of State for investment, Ambassador Katago, because she's been promoting women entrepreneurship. And as a matter of fact, she's one of those we made the face of We Are Nigeria. Okay. Because, again, she's in a strategic ministry that they can promote Made in Nigeria.
Now, let's look at this. You are part of the pioneer faculty in one of the premier institutions in Nigeria, industrial designs. We're having issues with dress code for students in schools. How can we inject more decency in the way people dress, especially in and out of school? And I know you've tried to push it even at the National Assembly.
Yes. This is a very worrisome trend that is happening in Nigeria today. Unfortunately, people want to dress Western. They want to look copycats, forgetting our identity, forgetting that we have to be who we are. Don't be somebody else. Be who you are. Be proud of who you are, where you're coming from. You see, the breakdown of our family values today. We have our family values, we have our cultural values, we have our spiritual values. Where is it today? Where is it today? And it starts from the home. We're Nigerians, we're Africans, please, for goodness sake. I feel so sad that I see our uniforms, our imported fabrics. I have made a case, but you see, one person cannot be... Well, I'm not alone in this fight. There's so many that think alike like me. And we have been at the forefront fighting for this, even the uniforms.
Official uniforms of
official uniform of schools.
Okay.
Of schools. Why can't we resort to our local fabric? Well, unfortunately, our textiles are not functional. So probably by the time our textile will come to our issue of textile. But the issue is that government should make a policy that every school should patronize the Made in Nigeria fabric. That is when it's available. That's why I'm saying we are coming to our textile sector. Because we cannot be wearing most of the school, you see, checked material, imported material. Why? Why are we slaves to other countries and taking our money, investing in other countries when we need this money in our country? But because of lack of planning, lack of goodwill, I think we should have a rethink. We should have a reorientation, change our attitude. Let me give you an example. Sorry, I'm diverting a little bit because I have to before I forget. Even in the villa, this escort, or what do you call them, that wear like a Scottish skirt. I said I was going to write a letter to the presidency. They should stop that and come up with a fabric
Something very Nigerian.
Very Nigerian, that can go around even the geopolitical zones. We have so many of the fabrics. When we come to AGOA and our textiles, I will mention that. I think I'm challenging the government on that. I don't know where to take my complaint, if it's a complaint or observation or whatever they might term it to be. Why must they wear that? What do they call them? I can't even remember. The guys that wear the like a Scottish skirt, a red Scottish skirt. They have a name, but I'm trying to get the name. We're in Nigeria, please. Let's be proud of who we are. We have so many, because the material is even woven. We have so many woven cloth in Nigeria. Where I come from, the Modekari, the Fulani woven cloth. We have the Ashoke from Yoruba Southwest. We have the Okene one from Kogi. We have from Akocha or whatever, pardon me if I'm pronouncing the name wrongly, from Southeast.
We have that of the Jukun.
We have from Jukun, that is Taraba.
Yes.
We have Nupe, we have Nasarawa, we have Adamawa, we have the Tiv cloth, the Idoma cloth. Beautiful.
Okay, before we wind down this conversation, I know you are a driver of an initiative relating to young women, working with ECOWAS. What is it all about?
Yeah, before we get to that, I think there's one or two things I need to mention concerning the AGOA. Yes. We've not mentioned AGOA, and we did not mention textiles, that I keep on referring when we come to that. Unfortunately, let me start with the textile. Unfortunately, our textile industry today, it has collapsed. There are few that are operating at a very low capacity. Very, very low capacity. Why is it so? The same, no political goodwill, inconsistency of our policies, no continuation of policies. Every government that comes will change his policies. Energy, power, raw materials. There's an embargo on some of the materials, even the seedlings. It's a value chain. The textile industry is a value chain from the cotton farmers. What are we doing about our cotton farmers today? Because they are the ones to grow the cotton.
And I understand that Nigeria has the second best cotton in Africa.
Very true, very true. I went to represent Nigeria in a cotton spinning technology course in China for about 2 months, 2008. And I came with a beautiful recommendation and reports. But trust Nigeria, you come up with a beautiful report, recommendation, communique, whatever you call it. It's been trashed into the garbage or into the dustbin. And what are we talking about? If we have the best seedling and yet our cotton industry, where is our granaries today? So please, let's go back to the drawing board and restructure the whole thing. And coming to the AGOA. AGOA is an initiative of, I remember during the Bill Clinton era, he came to Nigeria. It was signed into law. So many people do not even know what AGOA is all about. They don't even know. African Growth Opportunity Act. And it started with apparel, to export apparel to Europe, to the US. But Nigeria has not benefited. They kept on extending it. I have presented a paper on AGOA. To be honest with you, I really don't even know where AGOA is at this point, because it has been upgraded from apparel to agricultural produce, footwear. But at the end of the day, nothing, has been I have made so much noise about AGOA. I have had interviews.
Is it
we
that
have conversation.
It's been swept under the carpet?
I really don't know. I really don't know. I even went during that time to the National Assembly. I presented a paper. I was on television, on radio, talking about AGOA several years ago. But then, nothing. Come on, Lesotho and Mauritania. Ghana here. I remember that time. Some of our members have to go to Ghana. Because when you set up an AGOA center, to be fair on the Nigeria Export Promotion Council, they tried it. They opened an AGOA center in Lagos. But so many people were not aware of what was happening. I don't even know the stage now. Because you open like a cluster, for example, like a cluster where those fashion designers, especially the oncoming designers that do not have a factory, they do not have machines, they could go there and they have the talent, they have the good designs, they could design and export and bring in the foreign exchange, which will contribute in return to the GDP of Nigeria. Remember that women are the drivers of any economy in the world, not only in Nigeria. SMEs, they are the drivers. But AGOA, nothing. I don't know whether anybody can come out and challenge me. Who are those that benefited from AGOA to export without paying? Export free. This is an initiative we would have benefited. And it will create job opportunity. It will create wealth. We are talking, look at our youths today. Why do we have all this crime today in Nigeria? Boko Haram, kidnapping has become a business. Why didn't you create the AGOA that will create job opportunity instead of them doing kidnapping? Kidnapping has become a business today, and a fast business for that matter. That people will just arrange, even within family, to go and kidnap somebody so that they can get a ransom of money. Please, I think we should restructure our minds. We should have a rethink. We should have a reorientation in how we do things and look at this sector.
All right, we have been engaging with the founder of the Africa Fashion Hall of Fame, Goodwill Ambassador of the Nigerian Council of Women Societies, a specialist industrial designer, Mrs. Fati Yunus Ibrahim. It's been a pleasure really having you and sharing your thoughts and giving us insight into some of this area, issues driving the fashion industry, not beyond Nigeria. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.
And that's it on Exclusive Interview. We'll be back again with yet another guests on the show. Until then, thanks for being with us.